Good afternoon and welcome to SAIT Newsfile. I'm Noah Adler. Brett Lubchiski will have a look at all the highlights later in the show. What can we expect, Brett?
Well, it's opening day in Major League Baseball, so a lot of excitement there. Plus, we've got the men's and women's Final Four coming up this weekend.
I'm looking forward to it. Emmanuel Point du Jour has been outside checking in what's going on outside. How's the weather looking currently,
Noah,
Emmanuel?
it is a beautiful day out here. Lots of sun as we're going to hit a high of 4 degrees. About on par for where we were last year, which was about 8 degrees. But it's not going to get as high as a record high back in 2004 at 25.4 degrees. But it's not going to get as low as back in 1899 when it was minus 20.6. I'll have more on the forecast later on SAIT Newsfile. Back to you, Noah.
Thanks, Emmanuel. Now here's a look at today's top stories. Danielle Smith is once again involved in another controversy. This time it involves a conversation involving her and a street pastor who was facing charges in relation to last year's blockade. Despite there being an actual video of the conversations, Smith's office is saying that she didn't mean to say it. Mount Royal political scientist Dwayne Bratt questions whether it's really pressure when asking the same question constantly.
Defenders may just say, well, she's asking questions. But if you ask the same question over and over again, is that pressure?
The Deputy Premier is also saying that Danielle Smith did not interfere in the Alberta justice process. The identity of a young teen killed in the northeast community of Martindale has been revealed. The victim has been identified as 15-year-old Sarah Alexei Jorkra. She was in the passenger seat of a Ford Mustang at around 1:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning, where she was shot and killed. Officers were called to the 200 block of Martin Crossing Crescent Northeast for reports of gunfire. As of right now, there are no suspects in relation to the crime, but if you have any information, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. A poll by Nanos was released showing who the most preferred Prime Minister in Canada is as of right now. The poll is currently showing has Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre leading the polls with 28.7%. Trailing behind him is Prime Minister and current Liberal leader Justin Trudeau, who sits 3% back at 25.9%. And Jagmeet Singh of the NDP sits in the third spot at 16.1%. Calgary Transit has once again seen an increase in crime and theft. The City of Calgary continues to work on ways to enhance the safety of all train and bus riders. Jake Stegerman now joins us live from the Lions Park train station, where a recent assault happened a couple nights ago. Jake, with another LRT altercation, the safety of Calgarians on transit seems to be an ongoing concern.
That's right, Noah. I'm at Lions Park train station, where unfortunately another stabbing took place. With another assault in a public area, many Calgarians don't feel too safe. Calgary Transit has recently upgraded the lighting on all downtown C-train platforms to improve visibility for customers and security staff.
With public safety at Calgary's LRT stations taking another hit, the City of Calgary is focusing on improving platform security to reduce crime and theft. Calgary Transit has upgraded the lighting on all downtown C-train platforms from West Kirby to City Hall to improve visibility for security staff and customers. Among the concerned Calgarians are SAIT students who use Calgary Transit as a daily commute option.
Some kind of presence or cameras would be helpful. I think that would really deter any rate of crime at most of the stations, because I find it's when you feel alone is when you're most worried, I guess.
In addition to improving visibility, the upgraded fixtures use highly efficient LED lights which will serve to reduce overall energy consumption and minimize cost of maintenance for the next 10 years. In order of cameras, Calgary Transit Operations Control Center monitors more than 1,200 CCTV cameras across the C-train system and can dispatch officers as required. Better lighting gives security cameras the ability to capture more clear footage of any platform activity and enables greater visibility across and within the platforms. Security around train stations in Calgary are currently not as effective as wished for. Some areas around the city do propose a bit more concern for some.
It would be kind of nice to almost have like a transit officer, like just a staff member in the cars. I know that's like, you know, a lot to ask because that's like a lot of cars and a lot of trains, but just to have someone there to just be kind of monitoring the situation.
When someone presses a help button at a C-train station, the Operations Control Center receives an immediate visual of the area surrounding the help button so that the security team can communicate directly with the caller. Back to you, Noah.
That was Jake Segerman reporting live from the Lions Park LRT station. An increase in scammer calls over the recent months have affected a lot of Calgarians, but one group in particular is being targeted more in what is being called the grandparent scam or the emergency scam. Our city's seniors are losing money. Brendan Donald has more on the story.
Scam calls are on the rise in the city, and one group is being attacked a lot more than others. Police say elderly people are often the main victims of these attacks. Stats Canada shows 6,600 people are reporting a fraudulent attack in just the first month of the year. Close to 4,000 of them actually fell victim to these crimes. The amount of money is staggering, close to $44 million. What's even worse, just a fraction of the money is ever recovered. Students like Reese Malone have elderly family members getting targeted by these scammers.
So my grandma got a call, and it was basically a scammer posing as my little cousin, and he knew my grandma's name, and he was like, "Grandma, I've been in a car accident and I've been arrested. Like, I need you to bail me out of jail." And it was really scary for my grandma until she kind of finally clued in, like, this is maybe a little fishy.
Not only are the scammers targeting people, but they are doing it often, with sometimes calls coming multiple times a day.
And when it's worse, I'm getting a scam call like every 10 minutes sometimes for a period of a few days. Like I say, it comes and goes, so at the moment it's not so bad.
Calgary Police Service knows how the scammers like to operate, with a lot of the time them wanting to get things done right away.
Well, with the fraudulent calls, usually what they're trying to kind of take advantage of is urgency. They want to make it sound urgent, so you will do whatever they're requesting and provide some funds to them.
With the amount of scam calls that are happening right now, RCMP and Calgary Police Services are saying that they really advise you just to ignore them as best as you possibly can. And if you do believe that you are being scammed, to really make sure that you contact the Calgary Police Service.
Yeah, we definitely like it reported to the Calgary Police Service, also reported to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre. Online you can do that, which is a big help because these trends don't just start locally, they start across the country and spread across. And any information that can be given to the authorities does help, and we can get the messaging out to hopefully prevent people from being victims.
For SAIT Newsfile, I'm Brendan Donald.
Calgary police are saying that an undercover operation has led in 268 criminal charges. Among the charges are 40 alleged drug traffickers. 5 different types of drugs were seized in the operation. 7 weapons were also located during this operation, including 21 knives, 2 machetes, 2 hatchets, 1 can of bear spray, and 1 .88 gun. Police say that the investigation is currently ongoing. A blast took place on the 700 block of Maryvale Way in the northeast community of Marlborough Monday morning. Calgary fire officials are suspecting that natural gas was the result of the explosion. The explosion led to 10 people heading to hospital with serious injuries in the process. Local residents were terrified as to what they saw.
I was snuggling with my grandson on the couch, and I heard an explosion, and like the whole house shook. We were on the couch and look, we shook, so it was scary. So I put my grandson down, ran to the basement, thinking it was something in the basement because that's how loud it was.
Current update of the situation is that all 10 victims are expected to survive and make a full recovery. If you're looking for some of the best hospitality service, look no further than right here at SAIT. SAIT School of Hospitality and Tourism is taking the business by storm, as they appear in this year's CEO World magazine's list of top hospitality schools in the world. Chelsea Kavanaugh visited the Highwood Kitchen and Bar to give us the inside look at what gives the program its edge.
Holding their heads high after being globally recognized as one of the top hospitality and tourism schools. To choose the rankings, the CEO World magazine surveyed 185,000 graduates, industry professionals, employers, and recruiters in 96 territories between November and February of 2022. SAIT's program made the top 20 this year, a huge accomplishment according to Madeline McDonald, an instructor in the program.
Yeah, I think we've seen a great influx of international students coming to study here in Canada based off of our ranking in the world.
McDonald works primarily as a mixologist and in the Highwood Kitchen and Bar, run by students and faculty in the program. Students use the restaurant to simulate real-work experience in areas including hotels, resorts, private clubs, and attractions. This is the second year in a row the school has been recognized on the highly decorated list. This year coming in at number 15, 3 spots up from last year. Students and faculty in the program say receiving this recognition will definitely attract widespread attention.
Yeah, I think we've seen a great influx of international students coming to study here in Canada based off of our ranking in the world.
Many students who have graduated from the program have returned to work at SAIT, including Jennifer Nguyen, who says getting to work alongside her former instructors is very rewarding.
Like every single instructor that you would meet here in the School of Hospitality and Tourism, like always cares and has a huge passion to ensure that like every student receives a quality education.
James Overall, dean of the school, said that being ranked as Canada's top hospitality and tourism school in Canada would not be possible without hard work from everyone in the program.
Our faculty, our students, our alumni, our industry, I think it's something to take great pride in. The fact that this school is recognized to not just be the best in Canada and as both a hospitality management school as well as a culinary school, but also now number 15 in the world.
For SAIT Newsfile, I'm Chelsea Kavanagh.
Zombie hunters, apocalyptic scenery. You wouldn't think SAIT, but when the hit HBO show The Last of Us was shown here last year, the campus turned into another world. Many Calgarians and SAIT grads played a role on and off the screen in the show's production. Element has the details.
It's no secret that the new hit show The Last of Us was filmed not only in Calgary, but at SAIT. The show featured SAIT as a backdrop in 1/3 of the episodes in its first season.
It was more about my Calgary family and friends really recognizing what the industry is like. So it almost brought it home for them. And they're like, wow, it's actually like on our doorstep, it's happening. And it made me feel a bit more seen as an actor.
Phillips graduated from SAIT's radio, television, and broadcast news program in 2015. And she was introduced as an actress in the first episode as a medic when the main character Ellie is introduced.
Count slowly and clearly from 1 to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Slowly and clearly.
One of SAIT's appearances was as the University of East Colorado in the 6th episode, where the two main characters, Ellie and Joel, journey through. Before production began in 2021, the government of Alberta removed a $10 million cap per project, which created an opportunity for Calgary to be a backdrop to big productions like The Last of Us. Prior to that, there was a limit on how much projects like this could access from the province's financial incentives. Shooting here in Calgary was beneficial to recent grads in the film and television industry who were looking for jobs right out of school.
Ensuring that there is an opportunity for students and those that have been in the industry a short period of time to have that transition and that pathway onto set so that they can garner the hours and the experience that they need to be a major part and a component of the film and television process.
As large productions continue to flock to Calgary, it's safe to say that the city has a promising future in the film business. For SAIT Newsfile, I'm Ella Matt.
And those are today's top stories. We will have your full forecast after the break. But first, Emmanuel Pointe du Jour has a look at what's going on around Calgary this week.
Over 100 Albertan musicians will be in Calgary this weekend for the Country Music Alberta Awards. Come watch as awards like Male and Female Artist of the Year get handed out, as well as Radio Station of the Year, all starting this Saturday evening at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. If you're into country music and great hits like Cadillac Ranch and Fishing in the Dark, head down to the Jubilee Auditorium tomorrow where the famous Nitty Gritty Dirt Band will be performing live. The 55th Annual World of Wheels will be in town this weekend. Starting tomorrow until Sunday, check out some of Canada's hot rods, customs, trucks, and motorcycles, all showcased at the BMO Centre. Tickets are $20 for general admission. Interested in minerals and rocks? Head down to the Rock and Gem Show starting today until Sunday at the Spruce Meadows Equiplex. Tickets are $2 per person or $5 per family.
I used to hear voices. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I don't matter. Walked around in circles, didn't know where to go. Until I found my purpose. Through people that helped me live a better life and build a better future. could finally see that I'm able, capable, and worthy.
Come and learn the fast-paced world of television production. Find your passion to write, shoot, edit, and direct news, sports, and dramatic productions. With industry-standard technology and the best instructors in the business, SAIT's television production program teaches you everything you need to know for a career in broadcasting. This is television production. Come and dare to be on air.
Welcome back to SAIT Newsfile. I don't know about you, but let's take a look at the country. So in Vancouver, it is sunny right now. That's not going to last too long because tomorrow, due to a low front, we're going to be seeing lots of rain heading into next week. Into the prairies as well, we're going to be seeing that low front with rain showers and some snowfall. And now let's take a look at the east side. So a northeastern low pressure system is going to be making its way through Montreal and Toronto. That's going to be bringing, again, some showers and some snowfall into the Maritimes but we are going to be seeing a bit more, a bit of sun with Montreal at 1 degrees. Now, you know where there's zero chance of flurries in the west or in the south. Now let's take a look at our resorts. Showers in the forecast today in Palm Springs, but still sitting at a cool 18 degrees. Barbados and Cancun both taking in the sun with highs of 29 degrees. Pull out that sunscreen as it's 28 degrees in both Honolulu and Orlando. And Las Vegas is having some cloudy periods, sitting at 13 degrees. Taking a look at Calgary today, we are sitting at 4 degrees. Conditions are partly cloudy. We have a northwestern wind, cool northwestern wind at 12 kilometers per hour. And what's next is sunny for tomorrow. Now let's take a look at the province. So that low pressure system that I was talking about, it's going to move through the prairies and bring some showers potentially this weekend. So make sure to bundle up. But there's a bit of sun. There's a hope for sun this weekend as Banff is sitting at 6 degrees and Red Deer at 3 degrees. But again, a lot of showers are going to be in the forecast, hovering around 0 degrees above that. Now let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. So again, heading into the weekend, we are going to be seeing sun at 11 and 10 degrees. And then on Sunday, that's where we're going to be dropping, taking a dip, and there's going to be some showers and potentially some flurries. After the break, we're going to be taking a look at sports with Brett Lipkiewski.
Come and learn the breaking world of broadcast news. Find your passion to investigate, write, shoot, edit, and deliver the stories of the day. SAIT's broadcast news program teaches you everything you need to know for a career in radio and television. Become the next great anchor, reporter, or personality using industry-standard technology alongside qualified instructors with years of experience. This is Broadcast News. Come and dare to be on air.
Welcome back to SAIT Newsfile. Brett Lipkiewski joins us now for a look at the latest highlights. What can we expect, Brett?
Well, it's the Final Four for both men's and women's this weekend, but first we're going to be taking a look at opening day in the MLB. The Major League Baseball season got underway today, and the Toronto Blue Jays are hoping to get the season off on the right note on the road as they visit Busch Stadium to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. It didn't take long for the Jays to get to Cards ace Miles Mikolas. Dalton Varsho gets an RBI double in his first ever at-bat as a Blue Jay to open the scoring. And then it's Alejandro Kirk who comes up next, and he's going to drive home 2 more with a single to center field, making it 3-0 in favor of the Blue Jays. Nolan Arenado will get one back, though, for the Cardinals in the bottom half of the first, as he's going to get one off of Alex Manoah, and he's going to trim that lead down to 3-1. But in the second inning, Bo Bichette gets it right back with his second hit of the game to bring home George Springer, and he's going to make it 4-1 Jays. Bichette and Springer are both currently sitting at 3 for 4 on the day, while Alberta BC's Tyler O'Neill had a 2-run home run for Seattle in the third, and then it was Paul Goldschmidt who just hit an RBI single in the sixth to make it 6-5 in the top of the seventh. The Calgary Flames are still in the hunt for a final playoff spot, and they're getting some big performances from one of their key stars. Goaltender Jacob Markstrom has started to turn things around after what has been a pretty rough season for the Big Swede up to this point. He's won his past 2 starts in goal, sporting a .937 save percentage over just 2 games, including stopping 32 shots against Los Angeles on Tuesday. The 2022 Vezina Trophy finalist is going to need to keep up his hot play if the Flames have any hope of sneaking their way into the playoffs with 7 games to go. The Flames are only 2 points behind the Jets for the final playoff spot and have a great chance to leapfrog Winnipeg, as 6 of Calgary's final 7 games come against teams below them in the standings. The Toronto Maple Leafs were the only Canadian team in action last night, playing a Florida Panthers team fighting for a playoff spot. Taking a look at the highlights, only a minute into the game, Leafs turn it over in front of their own net, and it's Anton Lundell with the early icebreaker. The Leafs would respond in the second off of a ridiculous deflection from Zach Aston Reese. And then in the third, it's Mitch Marner winning the puck battle, and then from one knee, he's going to set up Austin Matthews for his 37th goal of the campaign. The Leafs would hold the lead until the final minute, when it's going to be Sam Reinhart deflecting it past Ilya Samsonov to send this one to overtime. Austin Matthews with a golden chance in overtime, but he is absolutely robbed by Alex Lyon. And then only moments later, it's Sasha Barkov carries and Brandon Montour buries the OT winner. Marner picked up his team-leading 95th point of the season last night, while the Panthers moved to within just 1 point behind the Pittsburgh Penguins for the final playoff spot in the East. The Calgary Hitmen are preparing for their first-round playoff series, as they will be the underdogs against a heavily favored Red Deer Rebels team. Calgary finished 22 points behind Red Deer in the standings, and the two teams met 8 times in the regular season, with the Rebels winning the season series 6-2, including a massive 9-0 win at the Saddle Dome in the last meeting between the two. The Hitmen will rely heavily on their top scorer, Riley Fiddler-Schultz, in the series, while the Rebels' leading scorer, Kai Uchaz, had 50 goals on the season, second in the league behind only Connor Bedard. Game 1 of the first-round series will be Friday night at the PV Mart Centrium in Red Deer. There are no shortage of interesting matchups in the first round of the WHL playoffs, including Connor Bedard and the Regina Pats taking on their provincial rivals, the Saskatoon Blades. All roads in the WHL, though, will lead through Winnipeg, as the Winnipeg Ice finished the season with the league's top record. The NCAA Men's Final Four is set to tip off on Saturday, and it's been a wild tournament to get to this stage. The Owls of Florida Atlantic University are in their first ever Final Four, becoming only the second 9 seed to ever make it this far. Jordan Hawkins hit 6 3-pointers as 4-seed UConn crushed fan favorite Gonzaga. The Huskies are looking to bring home their 5th national championship in school history. San Diego State are also in their first Final Four, as they knocked off Canadian Ryan Nemhard and the Creighton Blue Jays in a tight defensive battle in the Elite 8. And rounding out the field, it was the Hurricanes of Miami University. They are the 3rd Final Four debutante, as they overcame a 12-point deficit in the second half to upset the Texas Longhorns. This is the first time in NCAA that no teams ranked a 3 seed or higher have advanced to the Final Four. The Owls and the Aztecs get things underway at 4 o'clock on Saturday from NRG Stadium in Houston. The women's Final Four is also upon us, and Iowa guard Caitlin Clark has taken the college basketball world by storm. Clark appears to be a superstar in the making, leading the 2-seed Hawkeyes to their first Final Four in 30 years. The All-American has averaged 30 points a game in the tournament, shooting just a touch under 50% from beyond the arc. Clark stole the show in the Elite 8 against Louisville, putting up the first ever 40-point triple-double in NCAA history. The junior was also awarded both the Associated Press and Naismith Player of the Year awards this week. Clark and the Hawkeyes will battle projected #1 draft pick Aaliyah Boston and the defending champions from South Carolina. In the other Final Four game, 1-seed Virginia Tech face off against the Tigers of LSU. And that's a look at sports.
So how about the captain, Aaron Judge, picking up exactly where he left off last season after that historic 62 home run season?
Yeah, he's got 1 in his first game, 62 last year, and now he's on pace for 162 this year.
I'm sniffing championship 28 this year. But coming up next, we will take a look at combat armor.
Did you know that having your pet neutered can increase their lifespan? While pets that are not neutered are at a high risk of infection and disease. When adopting a pet, the Rescue Friends Animal Foundation pets available for adoptions are already neutered. Adopt your own neutered pet at Rescued Friends.
Come and learn the breaking world of broadcast news. Find your passion to investigate, write, shoot, edit, and deliver the stories of the day. SAIT's broadcast news program teaches you everything you need to know for a career in radio and television. Become the next great anchor, reporter, or personality using industry-standard technology alongside qualified instructors with years of experience. This is Broadcast News. Come and dare to be on air.
When you think of combat sports, boxing, martial arts, and MMA probably come to mind. However, armored combat is a new sport which connects us with the medieval way of fighting. Ryan Morrison went to the Academy of the Blade, a local armored combat gym, to learn more.
We've all seen movies with knights in shining armor, battling to see if good or evil will reign supreme. But have you ever wondered what it would feel like to be that knight? I checked in with Richard Mans, a local armored combat club owner, to see what inspired him to suit up and get involved in the sport.
I saw it at a little Renaissance fair in Cochrane, and I've done soccer, hockey, rugby, all sorts of sports. Then I saw this, and I was like, that's just the right amount of violence for me.
I then asked some of the other members of the club about why they were interested in armored combat.
This is that fulfillment. Like when I was in high school, I did a lot of football, lacrosse, hockey, and this fills that gap and then some. Like it's a whole other adrenaline rush to the full contact sports.
I then asked why they think other people join these clubs.
I find the common reason people sign up for the team or the sport is going to initially be curiosity, more so than anything else. We have people who are history nerds, all the way up to people who are looking for an outlet because they're an aggressive person.
How does a newcomer get involved in the sport?
Just find a team and contact the captain and start training with the guys. Everyone's doors are fully open. We're always willing to accept new guys and help people start training.
Last but not least, can anyone get involved in this sport?
Definitely, I'd say it's for everybody. We have an entire women's league. It is small and it's still starting up, but we had enough fighters come to our last tournament where we were able to put on entire sections of the tournament so they could participate, and male, female, check the other box, big, small, we have everyone.
For SAIT Newsfile, I'm Ryan Morrison.
Combat armor probably sounds a lot of fun in this weather that we've been seeing lately. Speaking of which, Emmanuel, can you take a look at the weather for us here?
Yes, I can. So going into the weekend, we're going to see that beautiful sunshine at 11 and 10 degrees. Heading into the weekend, we're going to be seeing that snow, but hopefully next week the sun will be shining again and then we can go hit some baseballs.
Yeah, for sure. And, opening day obviously was today. So my New York Yankees are off to a 1-0 start. Let's go. The first of 162-0, but I guess we'll see where things go here.
So that's your prediction, I'm guessing, then? Yankees going to win the World Series?
Championship 28, baby. Let's go.
Hey, the Blue Jays, I'm wondering how they did today.
Well, they're down by 1 run right now.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I think I'm going to be taking the San Diego Padres to win the World Series this year. I think they're the team to beat over the Houston Astros who won it last year.
They got Soto, Machado, they got the whole squad. Like, they're pretty much just like completely thefting every one of their players. So essentially,
go Blue Jays.
Go Blue Jays.
Yeah.
But anyway, that will do it for all of us here at SAIT Newsfile. For myself, Noah Adler, Brett Lipkowski, and Emmanuel Pointe-de-Jour, we bid you adieu.